And there's the clock.
Ding dong, ding
Ding
dong.
dong. Here the clock is going. It's 4 o'clock. Our time. And the computer just said it too. So, hello everybody. And welcome. Do we have sound?
Good.
Buddy. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, we're good. We are good. So I see everybody's coming in. I see there's a little bit of competition today on who is going to be first. Russ is usually up, but Russ got beat out not by one, but by two. Barb beat out Russ. She came in number one, and Julie came right up there a close second. And poor Russ. I don't know how many Sundays in a row you've been number one. Now he'll start coming on about 2 hours before we go live. Dana's in Mississauga visiting her mother. I know that. It's her mother's milestone birthday, 90-some years old. So I guess your flight got you here okay, Dana, because I knew there was a little problem with that when you were before leaving. Nina's here. Nina. I see Nina. I don't, but whatever.
I was the Nina, and
that's why you know it. Okay, well I never have. So I'm sorry, Nina. You will always be whatever to me. Faith is here. Hi, Faith. Mary is here. Go Chiefs. Oh, yeah. Today's Super Bowl, isn't it, Raw? Like, let's see. How do I put it mildly? I don't give a shit. So, football. What's that? Isn't that when they throw that thing that's got holes in it down a long alley, run 18 bases, trying to get it in a hole? I don't know. That's how much I know about football. Tamela is here. Hello, Tamela. And Mona is here. Suzanne is here. Karen B is here. Gloria is here as well. And Betty. I hesitated on the name. Where'd it go? Betty. Hope you had a good morning. Yeah, it was okay, Betty. That's not the evil Betty. That's the good Betty. Sue's here. Hi, Sue. And Candace, of course, is here too. And Jeannie and Karen Cox. Patsy's here. Pamela. Parm G from Vancouver, BC. Yay, another Canadian. Donna Bogart is here. Dubrovka is here from Timmins. And Candace says 71 Fahrenheit and sunny here in Georgia. I guess that's a bit of a change since the snow you had there 2 weeks ago.
It's snowing again.
What, is it snowing here?
Yeah.
Oh, so it is. Okay.
It's -1 here, so that's just
that's balmy.
Just below 32.
That's shorts and sandals weather. Yeah, like so. Yeah, not to worry there. Candace says, "Go Birds." Okay. Football things way over my head. Don't understand. Don't know what they are. Oh well. Anyway, so glad to see everybody here, and I'm sure a few more people will be popping in as things go along. And yeah, so what have I been working on first? We'll do me first because I'm more important. So I will just get this up on the screen for you. Okay, so yes, you know, because I said earlier this week that I was redoing the pattern that I'm writing that I call Cornered Stars because, you know, I had sailboats under or sailboats and stars in the other version. But if you look at it right now, in the yellow blocks that are up there, I've got my pieces going the right way this time. And it was just too difficult to try. I would have basically had to rip the whole damn quilt apart to make that, to fix those blocks on it. So I decided, yeah, I've got that. I will quilt it. And it's going to be an idiot quilter version. What you can do wrong. And of course, other people have suggested that I should have Walter always view them first of all. Yeah, his little evil eyes. But you're a little slow on the draw for that last one. Russ, I think, picked it up before you.
Well, no, I picked it up.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah.
Commented on it later. That I kind of noticed that it looked weird to me.
Yeah, well, you look weird to me too, so, but I don't bother to say anything much. Anyways, I am correcting it. Of course, I've changed my color scheme a little bit with the star blocks because, oh yes, now, There is a mistake in when I took this picture. I have since corrected it. I told you about it.
The bottom one got a different color in it?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. Look at the blue stars.
Yeah, what?
One of these things doesn't belong.
Oh, there's... Is the point soft?
No,
No.
star in the middle.
Yeah, well, the star in the middle is different.
Yes.
Is that supposed to be that way?
No.
Oh.
But now that you mention it, though, I could have made that one, left it. I didn't realize I got my half square triangles mixed up. Actually, I kind of like that star a little better.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm keeping to the pattern, and so I have replaced that. But I took this picture earlier today, and that's when I noticed it.
Oh, okay.
And I
just thought it was supposed to be that way.
No, and it could have been, because it's dead center of the quilt when the quilt is done, so you could get away with it. But that would mean an extra set of instructions to how to build that one, and I thought, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, so, but I like that shape of star a little better than the fan type of star. But anyways, live and learn. And nope, not ready yet for that picture. Okay, so what are you working on?
Well, I started another shirt. I went to that sew day yesterday, and I didn't really get a lot done. But I started another shirt. It's my screw shirt.
His screw shirt.
It's got nuts and bolts and nails in it. So,
so it's coming along.
Yeah.
Walter was at
I was at a sew day yesterday, and there was more people there than normal. And I mean, I was being social, so I talked a lot. And then the people I hadn't seen for a while. And then a lady dropped in that we hadn't seen for a long time because she's had a lot of medical problems. And she's finally getting back to normal again. And so that was kind of nice. And then there was a new lady that showed up, and actually a fairly young lady. She's started sewing, and she her serger wasn't working right. So I spent pretty much an hour trying to figure out what was wrong with her serger. And not just me, a couple other people as well. And we finally figured it out.
And what did you figure out?
We figured out that one of the threads and needles was not catching the tension discs. Because it wasn't going through the tension disc properly. And it was looping. The thread was looping. And we kept trying all different. We changed the needles. We did all kinds of other things. And then finally I thought, well, I should pull the thread through the tension disc to see if there's tension on them. And it turns out that one didn't have tension on it. So we threaded it and made sure it was going through the tension disc properly. And it worked fine then.
Well, you said her machine was a little bit filthy too.
Yeah, I opened it up and I looked inside and said, ooh,
it's scary.
You need to clean this out.
You should have taken my little vacuum cleaner with you. Maybe you could make some money on the side there, sucking out crap from people's sewing machines. Yeah, so, well, that was fun. So, but the witch didn't show up.
No, she only ever came once to the sew days.
She put a spell on you.
Yeah, who knows? Really? I don't know. And but there was a couple of different people that came.
Did the guy who was doing the straight jacket or the chains?
He never came back.
He never came back? Oh, you guys must have scared him off.
Yeah, there was another person that was supposed to come that has been there before, but I guess they never appeared. So, but it was a little crowded. We had 8 people there, so.
Yeah, so, well, that's almost double, isn't it? From the last few times you've been?
Actually, there's usually only about 4 of us. So it's pretty double. It's pretty much double. One lady came, actually 2 ladies came that don't usually, that often aren't able to come because either they're on holidays or they're doing something else.
Now, are they ones that were on when you guys are doing your classes online with
Yeah,
Brenda?
one of them, Karen, was one, and no, Marla wasn't one that came to the classes. She sort of joined in after we had finished those classes.
Oh,
So really, the only two people that come from the classes are Karen and
Gail.
Gail.
Yeah. But well, anyways, well, you had 8. We had, I think, at the height about 30, 31. I think at the height, which was a good turnout yesterday for the pop-up so day. For those of you that may not know what I'm talking about, um, I'm sure most people that are on here know what a pop-up so day is, that we have it because I've been having them regularly for the last couple of years. Hard to believe. Yeah. But anyways, we had a good time. I think a lot of people got stuff done. There was some enabling going. I don't know if anybody bought anything. Come to think of it, yesterday, I don't think anybody enabled us to buy anything.
Surprise.
That was a surprise. Yeah. With it all. Well, we must be all still recovering from the bills from Christmas time, kind of a thing. But yeah, everybody I think had a good time. And the next one, not sure when it's going to be. Maybe towards the end of this month, into the 1st of March, whatever. But there will be another one at some point, so stay tuned for when I'll make the announcement for that. So let's see, we've had a few people come in. Sherry's here. Hi, Sherry and Pace. Mary says it's not Betty with an I. Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. It was Betty with the I. That was our bad Betty. Pat says hello up in snowy Canada.
Yeah, we're getting piles now.
Yeah, and Charlotte's here. Hi, Charlotte. Patsy says, isn't that one called a Lemoyne Star, the middle one? Yes, actually, it is a Lemoyne Star. In fact, I made some Lemoyne Stars before because I bought an AccuQuilt die to make Lemoyne Stars. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I think you're right. That is a Lemoyne Star. And I bought the die because I thought those were difficult to make, but they're not. Obviously, they're not difficult to make from that. So yeah. Inez says, hi everyone. Hi Inez. Getting ready for big storm with 110-kilometer winds and 30 centimeters of snow. You have to understand that Inez lives on what's called the Rock. She lives in Newfoundland. And yeah, it's, out in the Atlantic Ocean, basically. Look on a map, you'll find where Newfoundland is. And yeah, they have severe weather in Newfoundland. So I hope you don't get blown away, Inez, or frozen out. Candace says, laugh out loud, everyone needs a screw. Pause. Shirt. Yeah. Pregnant pause there. The good Betty says, Walter, I'm not the mean Betty. I'm really trying not to be anyways. Okay, yeah, we know you're not the mean Betty. We have mean Betty and we have mean Margaret. Neither one should be, we can get on here anyways because I blocked them, so we don't have to worry about them. Charlotte says, I got a lot of sewing done there yesterday. Well, that's good, Charlotte. And that says 5 minutes from the Atlantic. So there you go. You're right out there. Mary says, be safe, Inez. So, yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, 110 kilometers. Holy shit.
Windy and snowy.
Yeah, you better get your clothes in off the line.
Better get your mucklucks on.
Mm-hmm. Or your galoshes. Oh, don't. We're going to set Russ off and we start saying all that stuff. Okay, so other events coming up. We have sewing with Stephen and who am I? And Stephanie. Yeah, sewing with Stephanie and Stephen on Wednesday, as usual. 9 a.m. is our start time, Eastern time. All are welcome. Links in the show notes. You know how to get there. Barb says, what? No mean Karens? Oh, watch it. We have a Karen on here, but she's not mean. She gets my jokes. So I like her. Yeah. And Gloria says, we don't need any meanies in here. Nope, you're right, Gloria. We don't need any meanies. That's my job.
I think they're afraid to make comments.
Well, there could be
on the live.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about that kind of thing later as we get into things today because it's something that we watched yesterday. But anyway, so Sorry on the pop-up so day, by the way. You probably got multiple emails after I sent out the reminder. I forgot to stick it in the blind, oops, there's a finger, to stick it in the blind carbon copy section when I sent it out. So everybody, all 200 and some odd number of you, got that message. The problem there being that if someone replied to my message, which was, there's no need to reply to the pop-up so day ones at all. You don't have to tell me, that you're coming or not coming or anything like that. Don't worry about it. It's okay because I'm not taking attendance much. But if you just hit the reply button, everybody got the message.
It's reply all though, right?
Yeah, it was a reply all. Well, but if you do blind carbon copy, and if you do reply
or reply all,
yeah,
you won't get it.
You won't get it.
No.
So, but that was my mistake. My mistake. My bad. I had two people that were not forgiving of me. They want to be immediately taken off the mailing list. Well, that's okay. Neither one of them ever comes to a pop-up so day or anything else. So I don't know why they're even on my mailing list, because I don't put people on the mailing list automatically. If you want to be on the mailing list, you send me an email, say, can I be on your mailing list? And I go, sure, no problem. And I put you on. So it's not like I'm pulling in people's information to put them on the mailing list. And so the one that was very rude, I said, okay. Well, she told me she had a little bulleted check mark list for this. And point 1 and point 3, she had 3 points. I forget what number 2 is. Please take me off the mailing list. Point 3, take me off the mailing list. Okay, I got the point the first time you put it in a point. So, and it was very rude, the message. So I wrote back and said, yep, I've removed you from the mailing list, and I'm also removing you from my channel because you're just rude. And I did. So, yeah. I have the power of the delete key. Never underestimate my power to use it. I will. But there was no need for that. Absolutely no need. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. Obviously, this person has never made a mistake in her life. She's absolutely perfect. She must be God. Well, she can't be because she was a woman. And we all know God is not a woman. Oh, I'm going to hear about that.
Do we know?
No, we don't know. Is there a dog?
No.
So, yeah, I mean, there was no need for that. Maybe she was having a bad day, bad life. I don't care. Not my problem. So, yeah, I made a mistake. And that's why I sent out the second message saying, everybody, sorry about that. My bad. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's really not. A few more people have come in. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. And Barb says, and I thought I was all of a sudden popular with all the emails. Well, there's a good way to look at it, Barb. Mary says, you pure welcome. Walsh, I had to look up KM. Yikes.
Kilometers.
Okay. Oh, she was right to... All right, I'm a little confused by the message, but it's okay. Lily's here. Hi, Lily. I haven't been... Mary says, I haven't been to a so day, but I keep thinking I'll get up and come. I hope so anyways. Yeah, if you're not in our time zone, it could be a little difficult for you. Although you don't have to come right at 9 o'clock for the so day, or 8 o'clock for the pop-up. You can come and go.
Yeah, anytime during the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, as long as you still want to be on the mailing list and have that option, it doesn't matter whether you're coming or not.
Well, you don't even have to be on the mailing list to get the link.
Yeah.
It's just maybe makes it a little easier. I put the links for, well, in all of my videos every week, including this one, there is a permanent link for Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. It's always there. So, I mean, if you can't find the email or you can't find it, all you need to do is go to any one of my videos that I've put out in the last 1.5 to 2 years. It'll be there for you. And, but the mailing list, what it is I just send that same link right to your mailbox because some people prefer to get it that way. So that's fine. Whatever works for you, that's okay. Russ says, excuse me, have you not seen Dogma? God was played by Alanis Morissette, therefore a woman. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but we still
She made a good God.
She did. Yeah, God was a little bitchy,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly in that movie. Anyways, Barb says maybe she thinks she is Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way. Yeah, she can't be. I am.
Not
Because
Mary Poppins?
no, I'm practically perfect in every way. I could be Mary Poppins too, whichever way you want to go with that. Dubrovnik says, good for you, Steven. No need for rude subscribers. Exactly. Lydia's here. Hi, Lydia. And Heather's here. Hello, Heather. So anyways, yeah, we had a good pop-up sew day. I always enjoy them. I get a lot done, and I think everybody else gets a lot done too. So we have a good time. So if you've never been to a pop-up sew day, the next one that comes up, join us if you can.
Well, my next sew day is March 8th.
Oh, okay. That may be when the next pop-up sew day will be, March 8th. But while we're talking about pop-up sew days, Russ just sent out to his mailing list that he's doing a sewing shenanigans next Sunday. So if you check out Russ's vlog, I imagine this week, because I don't think you said anything, Russ, about it on your past vlog on Wednesday. So check out his vlog on Wednesday on Russ's channel, which is Quilt Meets World. And his channel information is in my show notes as well. And yeah, same kind of thing as what we do, except Russ is running it. And so I don't have to be running back and forth going, spotlight, spotlight this one, spotlight that one, spotlight that one. Russ can do it all with that. So that's next Sunday. Kim's here. Hi, Kim. Snowy in Nova Scotia, I would expect. There's Am. Am, we were talking about you the other day on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. People were saying we hadn't seen you in a little bit of time. Wondered if you were okay and everything was fine. So glad to see you here today. And for those of you that don't know where Am is calling in from, he's in Taiwan. So it's late there. Or is it early? I think it's like
Probably about 12 hours different.
yeah, probably so. Evelyn's here. Hi, Evelyn.
Yeah, so it's probably like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. He's either up early or hasn't gone to bed yet. M's a nighthawk. Okay, so on So Chatty this week, we finished, well, we did a new thing. It was a one-off. Well, it may not be a one-off, but it's not a series. Giving us a little break for what we're going to do next. But we did, or I did, let me see if I can find it here. I did this. I did a video on how to do an in the hoop wall hang. It's the Gnome one. I think they're really cute. There's a bunch of these on Designs by Juju, and I put a link in the show notes for this one if you're interested, because I think it may still be on sale. When I went to their website yesterday, it was still on sale for $8.50, half price with it. That's US dollars. And they're a lot of fun to do if you have an embroidery machine. I enjoy doing them. And they've got a St. Patrick's Day one now too as well. I don't think I have a picture of it. Oops. But I think I put a link for it in the show notes. Let me check here my notes. Oh, I don't have my notes down that far. I think I did for the St. Patrick's Day. But if you go to Designs by Juju and just put in St. Patrick's, you'll find it. And it's a gnome as well, and he's got a shamrock, and of course he's all in green. So it seems to me that they are doing one for every special occasion.
So I wonder if they're doing an Easter one.
They've already done it, but they've got a little trick. To get the Easter one, you have to spend $30 and you get it free right now. But they'll put it, when we get closer to Easter time, that one will go up and you'll be able to buy it for, yeah. It's a little trick that they do. Now they've got this big sale going on. They've had it on here for a while, 65% off on best sellers and entire site 50% off. Well, that's confusing, isn't it? Select best sellers for 65% off. So do they mean that everything else on the site is 50% off?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess on it. But we saw a show the other night on from Marketplace, which is a Canadian program, showing how these things online that they show that they're on sale, how they're really not. How that sale, they make it sound like that you're going to miss out if you don't buy it now, and they keep the sale going for months.
Mm-hmm.
They tracked a whole bunch of stuff. It was really kind of interesting. Kind of suspected something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so that's what we did as a sort of a in between, because we just finished the Kindred Creatures wall hanging, and we're moving into bag making. Now, we have an in the hoop design bag making. Walter has never done a bag in the hoop. He's done bags the more traditional way, and we are going to do something with that as well. But the in the bag hoop, and I'll show you which one we're doing, is this one. It's by Sweet Pea, and they call it the Quilted Patchwork Handbag, and it comes in several different sizes. We're going to be doing the 7x12, and I think it's appealing to quilters because basically it's all quilted. But the machine, your embroidery machine does it. Now it's done in 3 panels on each side. You can see them here. And so you do have to sew them together with your sewing machine in similar fashion to the way we did it with the Kindred Creatures. But I want to experiment with different material. Like I'm going to use quilting cotton up here, but I just ordered some faux cork fabric off of Amazon. But Walter's looking at faux leather from what's the site?
Emmeline Bags.
Emmeline Bags. And I said I want to order some of that too for the bag, because for the bottom, because I'm not trusting this stuff. It hasn't arrived yet. It comes tomorrow. And I don't know if they say it's suitable for doing craft projects. I have a feeling it's kind of thin, but it had a nice design on it, so we'll see. But that's going to be our next series. So Chatty will take you through how to do this and what we're doing with it. Of course, we're both picking different fabrics and that kind of thing. I already have my fabrics picked out for it. Have you picked out yours yet?
No, not yet. I was going to go through and do it.
So the first next week, what we'll be doing is we'll be going through the pattern with you to show you, unlike OESD, Sweet Pea doesn't want you to buy a whole lot of extra stuff for it, but there's still some tips and tricks before you get started that we want to go over from our experience. Well, I guess more from my experience on this, since Walter's never made a bag in the hoop with it. But though it's the same as making one of those wall hanging kind of things that we just did. So
it's just like you do one panel and then you sew them all together.
Yeah, you sew them all together. Well, you have to make 2. There's a front and a back, right?
Yeah, right.
So 3 panels in both. So 6 panels actually when you get through with this. But yeah, we're going to go through the tips and tricks of the pattern, and we're going to show you our fabric selections and that kind of thing. And then the week after that, we'll actually sew the first panel and show you all of that. That will be a video that I will kind of speed up in certain places with it too as well, because, you know, it could be like watching paint dry if it was to do it in real time. Sweet Pea Bags patterns are a little bit pricier, $18.19, although they often have sales too. However, if you wanted to make this sort of like a sew along with us, I have put the link for this in the show notes below if you want to spend the money. Now for this, you notice this is in Canadian dollars because Sweet Pea is located in Australia. So their stuff is usually in Canadian dollar or in Australian dollars. But there is a facility on here if you register where you can switch over to the currency of your country. So I'm not sure how much this would cost in US dollars, but it's going to be less than that. I wonder if I can switch it over so you can see. I don't see it there, so I guess I can't right now. But anyways, but it's going to be less for Americans. And you earn points. I don't think I've ever cashed in any of my points. I should see how many points I have. I'm not sure what they get. I think you need a lot of points to get like $5 off or something like that. But then that's $5 off, isn't it? Better than a kick in the head. So yeah, that's going to be our next project. Okay, so let's see here. I got to get over here and go up here. And ooh, lots of comments coming through. Where do we leave off? Oh, Wild Rose Treasure is here. Hello, Wild Rose. Dubrovka says, Walter, by March 8th, her surgery might not work again. Yeah.
That's a possibility if she shows up. I don't know.
Yeah, she might not. Faith says, what design company had the bag that Sue showed us and you bought? She's talking about Wednesday. Sue, I don't think did Sue show us a bag? Nancy was showing us a bag, and it was that bag that Nancy was showing us. She did the same bag already. Sue, did you show us a bag? I'm sorry, I'm blanking out here. I'm not sure. And Denise says, hello and thank you for the free pattern. Well, you are welcome, Denise. New Quilting Life with Janice is here. Tamela says the pattern is $13.99 USD. So little less expensive for that too. But it's not going to be a sew along per se, although you could make it your own sew along because I'll be doing it in pieces, but it won't be like a live or anything like that. It'll just be pre-recorded video for that. Okay, so those are projects that are coming up. Update on our new bed so far. What, we've had the bed now for a week?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm loving the massage feature, and I have it programmed so at night, because I always read every night before I go to sleep. When I get in bed, if I read for about half an hour or until I start to nod off, I just push one button and the bed comes up for my reading position. I also have my legs adjusted, and then I hit the vibrate, the massager on it too, and it's on a little timer. And so I really like it. And you want to know something? My back and my legs, there's still a little numbness in them, but I have noticed that I've had a lot less with it.
Yeah, and I had problems with my shoulder when I was, because I sleep on that side, and that's gone away, so.
Yeah, so it was worth the investment in this bed. We should have done this a long time ago with it. So yeah, I'm really loving it. Walter did a readjustment. This bed, our old bed had a headboard and a footboard, and we wanted to reuse our headboard as well because we like that headboard. We've had it a long time and we like it. And when the guys came and set up the bed, and we were talking about, well, it should be a kit in here. The guy told us at the store that there's a kit for attaching the headboard. And he says, yeah, it's in here. He says, though a lot of people just prefer, he said, to buy one of those headboards that you screw into the wall. Well,
he suggested that we screw our headboard into the
wall. Into the wall. Is that what I thought he meant? Yeah. Well, I said, actually, I have a quilt that hangs behind it.
Yeah, it was kind of difficult to do.
Not doing that. Anyways, Walter figured it out, but we had this gap. Like, my pillow would fall down between the headboard and where the mattress was. And I said, it's a good thing we don't have Kitty anymore. Kitty might fall down the hole. For small children. Not that we have
I left it because I wasn't sure how much clearance the bed needed to raise up or lower. And I did end up leaving a little bit too big of a gap. So I changed it so the gap is not as big.
No, in fact, it's much better now with that. But we can't put our footboard on it because there is no way to attach it. And I suppose if you want to get out screws this long,
I mean,
but
I could probably figure it out somehow, but also, I don't know if it's worth it.
Well, the guys also said, when I said, oh, I thought the guy at the store said that he was also going to put in a footboard bracket. He said, no, I've never heard of. The guy said he's never heard of anybody putting a footboard on one of these. He says can't because, and I got thinking about it. Well, yeah, because the bed.
I think there would have been room to put one on if there was a bracket there. But I could probably devise a bracket
I
or
don't know if it's
something
worth
if
it.
it was worth it. But actually, in some ways, I kind of was always annoyed at for it anyway.
Now the truth comes out. Yeah, whatever. Well, it's fine. It's just that in the middle of the night, if you get up to go to the washroom, you could grab the post on the bed to guide you into the bathroom without tripping over it. The other day, actually, just after we got it, we didn't have the headboard. I came out of the bathroom, and I get up a lot earlier than Walter does. It was about 5:30, quarter to 6 in the morning, and it's a little bit dark. And I have a habit of when I come out of the bath after I get dressed and everything, I go out to make my coffee in the kitchen. I turn off the bathroom light, which I'm using, our ensuite, to see my way around. When I turn off the light, you know how you're blinded at first a little bit? I just reach out and grab the post on the headboard, and that directs
You
me
mean the footboard?
for the footboard, yeah, and directs me out. Well, I reached for it and almost fell on the floor because, wait, there's nothing there. Where's my knob? I can't, excuse me, that's not what I meant. Where's the post? That's funnier anyways. But
Yeah, I guess a lot of beds nowadays don't come with
I
footboards.
guess.
So
I guess. So the footboard's now sitting in the guest bedroom.
yeah, I thought of putting it out in the shed because, but I can't get to the shed because there's too much snow.
No, true. Well, spring will come, and then we can get that out there. But anyways, it is great. I absolutely love this bed. It's so comfortable, and it lulls me to sleep because I have the remote or the massager the on timer. And so usually I'm starting to fall asleep before it's finished up. So I put the bed back down into its regular position and it gently vibrates me to sleep. Oh, I wonder what the poor people are doing. But out of that, but whatever. Oh yeah, Sue says it was the bag Nancy made. Yeah, that's what I thought. So there you go, Faith. But anyways, so the new bed, we're loving it. What's next on my list here? Oh, spring retreat update. You know the date, March the 26th, Saturday, March the 26th. There will be a date will come out about 2 weeks before for registration and all the details about that. I have lined up my 2 guest speakers I'm really thrilled with, and I can reveal to you now who we're having. One is a regular subscriber and someone who comes to Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen and often the pop-up sew days as well. She is a Canadian. She's out in Nova Scotia, and her name is Heidi Morel. And
I believe she's in New Brunswick.
is she New Brunswick? Yes, she's New Brunswick. Yeah, that's right. She was in New Brunswick. No, it was in Nova Scotia where we went, in Halifax.
Not in Halifax.
No, it wasn't. It was Fredericton.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even.
No, it was
we didn't even go to Fredericton.
Yes, we did.
No,
We spent one night in Fredericton.
No, that was I forget the name now. St. John.
Oh, St. John. That's New Brunswick. Yeah, sorry. The East Coast. I'm an Ontarian. What do you expect? Really? I know all the East Coasters are going typical Ontarian. Yeah, like the world ends at the border into Quebec. Uh-huh. Yeah, it does. It really does. But anyways, yeah, so Heidi is an absolute masterful hand quilter. She has a frame, she does beautiful, beautiful work. And so she has agreed to be one of my guest speakers that day. You're going to learn a lot from Heidi. And she's a little bit, she says she's suffering from imposter syndrome because she thought, well, why her? And I said, why not? I mean, I like to draw from the talent that is here on the channel, you know, and she's definitely talented. So that's going to be great. And then I had some emails out that never got answered from other people or whatnot. And I was trying to think, who else could I get? And then I thought, John from Art East Quilt Company. And I am sure many of you are familiar with Art East Quilt Company. Those are all the wonderful quilts that John designs that, you know, he did Alice in Wonderland. He did The Wizard of Oz. He's got the 100-Acre Woods. He has other ones as well. Blowing Up Bunnies. I call it Blowing Up Bunnies. I'm not sure if that's really the name, but the bunnies blowing bubbles on it. Goats in pajamas, all those. I'm sure you have probably seen them. If not, do a search on Google for Art East uh, quilt company, and you will see all of his patterns and stuff like that. And he does sew-alongs, and he has kits and everything like that. Well, he is a Canadian, and he's in Nova Scotia. He's actually in Cape Breton. Um, and I thought, what the heck? Let's see. I got a message back almost immediately, within an hour, from saying he would love to do that. And I said, that is great. I was absolutely gobsmacked that he was going to do that. So we'll have an interview with him on that, and we'll talk about his projects and his business and how he designs and all that good stuff as well. So I've got two really great presenters for the retreat. So you don't want to miss this. So you know it's April 26th. Put that on your calendar. I already know there's a few people who have rearranged their schedules so they can be at this. Julie, who's on here, I think somebody was having a baby shower and she says, oh, no, you're not. Not on that day. So they rescheduled their baby shower. I think it was their third baby anyways. I mean, how dirty can a kid get? I mean, really, you have to wash them all and have people what? I don't know how baby showers work. But anyways, yeah. So it'll be great. But more information as we get, towards the end of March will all be coming out. So stay tuned. You'll be all filled in on that. And many of you have been to the retreats before. Actually, I looked the other day. My very first retreat that I held was in 2021. And I do 2 a year. So this is retreat number, what's this, 24 years? This is retreat number 8, because I do 2 a year. Hard to believe that I've been doing it for that long. And it just started out as an experiment, the first one. I remember that. Well, they've grown. Okay, so what are people saying here? Oh, Barb says, so in other words, you're sleeping with your own personal masseuse. Yes, I am. And it isn't Walter. Barb says, Heidi is located somewhere in Canada. That's all we know. Yeah, she's in New Brunswick. St. John, New Brunswick.
I don't use the features on the bed. I just lay flat.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't even used any of it. I feel a little guilty about that.
I figured you wanted one of those anyways. I mean, I don't really care.
Oh, I'm supposed to be grateful now. He let me get the bed that I wanted. Actually, I said, yeah, I've always wanted one, but they're expensive. And I said, I don't know if we'll ever use it.
Well,
much.
he got in the showroom and started playing with the remote control, and I want one of these.
In fact, the first bed that I got on, I said, I like this one. Wrap it. The guy took us around, showed us other ones. And I says, no, I like the first one. Wrap it. He showed us the other ones. I said, no, I like the first one. Wrap it. So, yeah. And they did. And we got it. Charlotte says, John is fascinating. Yes, he is. John does a wonderful job. I watched him today for the first time. Oh, yeah. And as he is, he's great. And it's nice that this will be the all Canadian retreat kind of a thing with my presenters. I don't think I've had Canadian ones on before, but I don't think both of my presenters have been Canadian. Mm-hmm. So that's good. I like that. Right now we need Canada strong, the true North, strong and free. Jeannie says, I'm thrilled about Heidi and John presenting for the retreat. And Julie says, that's right, retreat first. Yep. Mary says, you only go around once. Unless you like it, then you go around a second time, maybe 3. I don't know. What? So anyways, that's the update on the retreat. So new feature on the channel. I don't know how often I will do it. Depends on how bored I am at the time. And that is the one that I just put out last week called Sewing and Musings with Stephen, which is basically me doing stream of consciousness while I sew. I've mic'd up, I've got the cameras on, and I record myself. I'm basically talking to myself, but then I post it. It's not live. And there's a reason why it's not live. If it was live, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on what I'm doing when I'm sewing if I'm trying to reply to everybody in the chat. And if I'm made it into a Zoom. Well, what's the difference between it and a pop-up soda kind of a thing with that? So that's why I do that. But my whole point with that is Walter was off gallivanting, as he does. And I'm here alone and I'm working on my sewing. And I thought, a lot of people are probably like in their sewing room, sewing away. And they probably have maybe an audio book on or a movie in the background or some YouTube stuff. I often do that with some YouTube stuff. But I don't know, it's kind of boring, or can be after a while, same old thing. So I decided I would just try this as an experiment. Well, I've had a lot of comments from people who loved it. And they said like a lot of you commented on it. So yes, I will do it again. The only thing is it won't be on a regular schedule. It'll be, whenever I'm in the mood. So stay tuned for that. But thank you for the nice comments about it. I was surprised. A lot of people think I have a very soothing voice. Do you think I have a soothing voice?
Yeah, because you put me to sleep all this.
Well, it's nice to know it's my voice and not what I'm talking about.
Well, that too.
Oh, yeah, I figured you go there. I opened the door for you. You went right in. Not a problem. Yep. Yeah, let's go. Walter spoils you, Karen says. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. There's always ulterior motives. Faith says, sorry I was sewing yesterday, but we have been without internet for 2.5 days. My husband was lost without his TV. Oh, that's too bad you were out with that, Faith. Inez really liked the episode. That's great, Inez. I'm glad. I sew alone as well, and it was great. Yeah, it's kind of like, even though it's not live, it's kind of like it is live. Except you just don't get to say anything. It's only me talking. But I mean, I call it stream of consciousness because I don't know what I was going to talk about. I just talked. Don't even go there.
Isn't that just normal?
Pull my finger. No, don't even go there. Charlotte says, I really enjoyed sewing with you, Stephen. It was a nice surprise. I'm glad you liked that, Charlotte. And Lily says, Steve, I loved it. I watched it while I was sewing. I'm watching the live now while I'm in my sewing room. So thank you so much. Well, good. It's the whole idea is, I like to do things that make people happy. And as long as they're happy, I'm happy. If you get bitchy on me, you're going to die. But I mean, simple that. Glory says, I really enjoyed that episode. Okay, and this is, I talk to you, you just don't hear. Oh, maybe that's just as well, Inez. I don't know. But anyways, okay, so what else is new? Okay, the bamboo printer. I got a picture to show you of something I made with it, which took me 4 days to make. Where's my pictures? Here they are. Let's get this up. Oops. Here it is. So, the thing with all the spools of filament in it, all the colored spools, is called an AMS. AMS stands for Automatic Material Supply. Or System, sorry, System. Automatic Material System. It is what automatically switches colors on my 3D prints. So you see my little minion that's sitting on there in this picture. Well, that little minion was done on the AMS, and I didn't have to do anything. It's all programmed in for where the colors go, or I could change the colors as well, but it switches out the filaments to do that, which is cool. I really enjoy this. But that thing that the AMS is sitting on, that's kind of in the lavenders and the purples and the greens and whatnot, that's what I made with the printer. It is a riser. Now, this is not hard to explain, but it probably won't mean much to you if you're not a 3D printer. But this box, the X1 Carbon, which is the name of the printer, has a door on the front and it has a glass top that lifts off. The problem is that means that the heat from the nozzle and from the heated bed heats up the chamber. And that can cause a problem with certain filaments you're using. Now, I use something called PLA. which don't ask me what it stands for, but it stands for a really long chemical name for the filament. And it is Bamboo Labs, the people that make this, suggest that when you're printing with PLA for long periods of time, you should leave the front door open because you can have something called heat creep, which the filament basically gets so hot that it doesn't cool down quick enough and it'll start to back up in the nozzle, and you can have a real mess when that happens. Ask me how I know. It hasn't happened to me, knock wood, on this machine, but it's happened on some of my other machines before. So somebody created this riser so that you can have the top open and your front door closed, but there's also a place where the minion's sitting, that's the glass top, that you can slide that in. So if you need to take it out and put it on top, you can do that. And then there's little drawers on it, and it's ventilated on the sides as well. This was a major print job. 4 days. And
Yeah, so yeah, you printed it on this printer, right?
I printed on this printer. Oh, I would never been able to print it on the other printers at all. But whoever designed this was brilliant designer because the pieces all snap together. Now, I did glue them for security sake, but they slide in together perfectly. They have dovetail joints, if you know what those are. A lot of furniture that you get, high-end furniture, will have you'll see it. It looks like little sort of like triangular kind of pieces that lock in. This guy knew what he was doing. There is no two ways about it. So I'm really pleased with the way this turned out, and it's working great. Now you're going to say, well, why not just open the door? Because it is a loud printer. It's running right now. You probably can't hear it because we have noise cancellation on here as well. But if I was to open the door right now, it would be twice as loud as it is right now with the door closed, even though the top is open. So, yeah, but I am loving this printer. It was worth every cent that I spent for it on it. And eventually, I may get another one. But not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Not at almost $2,000. No, not tomorrow. But it's a great printer. So if you're in the market for a printer and you got $2,000, well, if you're American, it's less. I recommend a Bamboo X1 Carbon. Okay, so that's an update on that. And an update on my prints that I've been making. You know that I was trying to give them to the local elementary school. No luck there. No emails, nothing. I've sent them 3. I never got a reply from the vice principal, who supposedly the secretary passed these messages on to. They're not interested as far as I'm concerned, so fine. But somebody recommended to me that I check out my local library because they usually have kids programs. I hadn't thought of that. I did. Oh, yes, they most definitely wanted them. I took a great big box of them over on, Friday? We went over, dropped them off. I got a really nice thank you email from them. And you know what I've been saying about thank yous. That made my day as well. And I told them if they want more, if they've got, like, when they're doing their, the children's program with books, maybe they want some items that are related to a book they happen to be doing with the kids, like props and things, we can talk about it. I can see what I can come up with. And then I had mentioned that I was a quilter. And this same lady who's the customer relations person for the library or something like that, she said, oh, we would like to do sort of a sewing or quilting program in the summer with teenagers. Would you be interested in something like that? They don't have it developed yet. And they knew that I was I'm a retired teacher. And I kind of hesitated with what I said to them. I said, well, it's a possibility we can talk. I hesitate because, I'm not, teaching teenagers is not a problem for me. That's what I did, right? But this is sewing. And I have not yet really taught a sewing class. So those of you going to Stephanie's retreat in the spring, and I'm teaching there, Be nice, be gentle with me. Okay. But we'll see about it. Of course, I'm assuming that the library has sewing machines somewhere. Someone told me on Sewing with Stephanie and Steven the other day, their local library has a long arm in that. I know libraries are branching out now. They have 3D printers in a lot of branches of library, that kind of thing that people can use or whatnot. And I think they run little, things with the kids, showing them how to do simple prints on 3D printers and stuff. So obviously they realize they need sewing machines to have something like that.
That may not be always obvious. Maybe they think you do hand quilting.
And that I will not be doing. And everybody knows the reason why for that. But anyways, yeah, so more possibilities there in the whole bit. But I was really thrilled that they took my 3D prints. Now I need to find some other places. Someone suggested like the Boys and Girls Club. And we used to have one in Oshawa.
Yeah, we did. I went to it when I was a kid, but I don't know if it still exists.
I don't know if it exists anymore, but I may have to look
but
that up.
When I went to it, they tended to be more for
sports and swimming, wasn't it?
Well, it was more. I don't think it was for really little kids. Like it was more for
what, like teenagers,
or like a late, like 7s and 8s and stuff.
Oh well, I can do a search and see what I find out about that. So thank you, people, for the suggestions. If you have any more, throw them my way, because I'm always looking for other places too. Let's see. Just catching up here on what people are saying. Oh, Dubrovka has a question. Stephen, have you ever found or purchased pattern for a bag in the hoop with lining in the hoop too? No, because I don't think there are any with that. It would be great if there was, but you'd still have a bit of a problem with that because you have to sew the lining into the bag, but I don't know how that would work. But I may have to do some more exploring to see, but no, right now I have never ever seen one like that. Karen says you can also add another AMS unit for 8 different spools to switch at a time. Yes, Karen, you can. In fact, Karen, you can add more than one more AMS. I have seen YouTube videos where you buy this thing. It's called a hub that it goes through. I looked it up on Bamboo Labs. They're about $65 Canadian. But I have seen people connect up to as many as 4. So I have 16 reels of filament. I don't think I would ever go that much. I'm not even sure if I would even invest in another AMS. Actually, I looked to see about buying another, like what the cost was, and I couldn't find it on Bamboo site. I know that they had them, but maybe they're out of stock and they took that off the site or something. I don't know. But it's a question of space now. I mean, you look behind me. There it is. Wait, here. Let me show you. Let's see, printers. Here you go. There's where all my printers are right now. And the big silver box at the end, that's the Bamboo one. It takes up a lot of space, as you can see. Getting another AMS in this, well, I'd have to find a new location. Running out of space for that kind of stuff. Buy a new house. Bigger house. Have a 3D printing room. Have a quilting room. Oh, that would be nice too. So, yeah. Carl's here. Hi, Carl. See you in April, and you can use us as your test subjects for teaching. Yeah, well, whether you want to be or not, you will be. So, yeah, just be gentle with me. That's all I ask. Or Walter will beat you. He'll be there too. Okay, so main topic today. I called it Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. That is a poem by Dylan Thomas. And you're probably familiar with it, or you may not be. If you were an English major, you definitely are familiar with it. But this is the poem. By Dylan Thomas. It says, Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their works had forked no lightning they. Do not go gentle into that good night. I'm not going to read the rest of the poem to you, but essentially, this was Dylan Thomas. He wrote it about his father. His father was on his deathbed at the time. And basically, what he's saying is you don't have to give up just because you're passing away. Don't go out with a bang, not a whimper, kind of a thing. And there's a lot more other subtleties to this, and this is not English class, so we will not do an analysis of the poem here. But the point that's being made is that as we grow older, it's not hard to think about the end of life. And I've met a few people, and I'm sure you have too, who that's all they talk about. They're, maybe in their late 70s, early 80s or that, and it's like, well, if I last another spring. My grandmother was great for that one. And she didn't. So yeah, okay, fine. Use your words. Whatever. Walter's pointing at this because I've covered up a screen where people's comments are and all that stuff, and you can't see it. So, anyways, oh, Russ says that poem was in the movie Dangerous Minds. I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
I think we might.
Did we see it? We probably. I don't remember. They're all new to me. But really, the point is here: just because you hit a certain age doesn't mean you have to look at it as being the end of your life. Death is inevitable. We all know that, but we don't need to drag on. Stop doing the things we love to do, or stop living our lives. And the reason I got thinking about this is because we went to a YouTube video yesterday, and it's one that I follow a lot. She is a designer in the States. You may have heard of her. Her name is Rebecca Robeson. She's been on YouTube for a long time, and she is a high-end interior decorator. She decorates for people with lots and lots of money, and like decorating jobs that cost, several $1 million, because these people live in more than million, like $20 million mansions and stuff like that. I like watching her because even though there's no way I could ever afford in a thousand lifetimes what she is doing with decorating, you do get some interesting ideas from her. But she is an older lady now. I'm not sure how old she is.
She said she was 67.
Oh, she's 67. So she's Walter's in my age, kind of a thing. She's had work done. She wears a lot of makeup.
A lot of makeup.
She dresses very chic, but in clothing that some people might think a little inappropriate for a lady of her age. She's had some work done, the lip filler, some removing the jowls and other things like that. And she admits to all of that. But she gets hate mail.
A lot of really bad hate mail.
Really bad hate mail. So she spent an hour and 15 minutes going through some of the hate mail. And all of it had to do with her appearance. And there were people that were upset that she was the age she was. She should be dressing age appropriate and acting age appropriate. And it was disgusting that she spent all this money on her hair and her makeup, and she had work done and everything like that. Well, okay. If you saw her, if you've ever seen the movie Death Becomes Her, you would understand what I mean. But regardless of that, why were people picking on her about doing this kind of stuff? But that's our society, isn't it? Beauty and everything is wasted on the young.
Trying to look young.
We get, but how can you not? Our society is geared towards the young. Everything. Social media. Selfies. What are all the kids and the 30-somethings and what? They're always got the phone out here looking for the right pose. Contorting themselves to look the best. And they take 1,000 selfies of themselves. It's a very vain society, in a sense. Very narcissistic as well. But anybody who's older, they Oh, it's an old person. Ew. Don't go near them. It's catching. Yes, old age is catching. You can't outrun it. So we got a whole society that's geared towards this youthful look. So, um, what do you do? Does your age affect you? I was thinking about this the other day. I'm going to be 68 this year. I do not feel that age.
I don't know. You kind of feel aged.
Let me go get a fork and see if you're done yet. I still have my hair. Not you, Baldy.
That's okay. I don't have to comb it.
The wind certainly doesn't mess it up. That's for sure. But anyways, yeah, like I feel like I'm in my 20s. Now, except when my back hurts. Yeah, then but I'm lucky. I'm in good health, as far as I know. I don't go to the doctor, so I don't need that. That pisses me off when I do go to the doctor and they take your blood pressure and all this kind of stuff and go, oh well, you should have this medication and that. Wait, that's for old people.
Yeah, well, it's a shoe fit.
Yeah, right. And you should know about shoes. You've got 1,000 of them.
Yeah, well,
Like, God, you're worse than some.
Imelda Marcos.
Yeah, really.
Not that many.
But how old do you feel?
I don't know.
I'd say 80. I don't know. Kind of
I don't feel 20, that's for sure.
Well, I have the body of a 20-year-old, but apparently I've been abusing it and I have to give it back. But
how old you would be if you didn't know your birthday? That's a good question.
Well, where's that?
Patsy.
How old would you be if you didn't know your birthday? Do you mean how old I feel? I'd be 26. Yeah, 26.
I don't know.
I don't feel like I'm going to be 2 years away from 70. And I can't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you sometimes say that, but I refuse to give in to that. Some people do. They look at their age, their calendar age, and they go, well, I should be acting this way because I'm old. I'm an old fart. I should stop doing a lot of things. My mother did that.
Mm-hmm.
When she was 81, 80, no, she 82?
She never became 82.
No, that's right. She died at 81. There was no reason that she needed to pass away at 81 because
she let herself go, and she wouldn't do anything to continue.
Yeah. She let age creep onto her, but she was in good health. She wasn't on any major kinds of medication or anything like that. And she just gave in. Like, she did not go into that good night. Okay? She didn't rage with the dying of the light, as in the poem. The kind of a thing. And she could have. But she let it get to her that she was that old. Well, a lot of it too had to do with the fact my dad had passed away, and she went into depression at that, and she never got out of that depression with it. So that contributed too. But the point here is, if you, like people say, age is a number, right? You hear that age is just a number. Well, it is for some people. For other people, it's not. But you can't go backwards. We'd like to, but we can't go backwards. So I guess what people try to do, and this is what this Rebecca Robson does, is they find things out there that will help them to keep a youthful appearance. It could be the way you dress. Now, there's nothing sadder than seeing somebody in their 60s trying to wear something that a 30-year-old is going to wear and get away with. Okay? Like, I guess the comment that she was reading about dressing age appropriate. Well, I suppose maybe to some people age appropriate means a shawl and something down to your knees or something or what like that. But no, I think what they're saying is don't try to dress like a teenager because you're not going to pull it off. But you can dress well. And that's what she said. You can dress well. She meets with clients and they're high end, so she has to look her best when she meets them. And I think she had made a good point in that. She said, who's going to hire you to do interior decorating if you look like a frump? Like, that's going to be your first impression when you meet somebody, what you look like to them. So they think, oh, you're kind of put together. You can probably put a house together too, you know, as with that. So, and then of course, there's all these miracle products, especially geared towards the women. I just saw one came up on YouTube this afternoon when I was watching something, you know, when the commercial came up. Some doctor has discovered a way to remove age spots. You know, like, and it's so easy. I don't know. It was a 35-minute commercial and I wasn't watching the whole thing, but it's miraculous, you know, and it's so simple to do. I'm sure it's miraculous. It only costs you several $100 a month for some kind of cream or whatever. I mean, I have age spots. It bothers me because I think of my grandparents. They had them too, and my dad and my mother. You know, it's hereditary, probably. But you know, what can you do about it? Wear gloves if it bothers you that much. I think it bothers the ladies more so, especially if you get anything, you know, on your face or something like that. Although the ladies have the makeup, they can cover it up. We as gentlemen don't really, although there are products for men.
Some do, but
Yeah.
I think some men look kind of weird when they do that.
Well, yeah, you look strange to see a man wearing makeup. You know, maybe the younger ones, the young guys. I remember back in the 80s during the goth time, the boys were wearing makeup, eyeshadow, and stuff like that. But that was a goth thing then. So then she had all these hater comments, and you should watch it. Rebecca Robson because she's not alone. We all get hate comments as
But
YouTube creators.
It was obviously affecting her.
Oh, it bothered her a great deal about her age.
She said it didn't bother
but it
her,
did.
but you could tell it was bothering her.
Well, they were the only hate comments that she talked about. She didn't talk about ones that talked about her ability to be an interior decorator or anything like that. So I don't know. Do people out there, do you guys have things that you do to give you a youthful appearance or something? I mean, makeup, yeah, but there's all kinds of creams and serums out there. Anybody got a good one? I do. Okay, I'll confess, I do use moisturizer, and I do use under eye cream as well, because I
don't do that.
And you should. But actually, it started with Walter as a joke for one of my birthdays about 20 years ago, gave me a bottle of wrinkle cream. And I used it. And I kind of liked it. So now I moisturize every morning. And I use this under eye balm stuff because there's a branch of my family that have juju eyeballs. I call them juju eyeballs, you know, kind of like, you know, the bags, the heavy bags under their eyes kind of a thing. And I have a tendency to go that route too. So I just use this stuff, comes from the Body Shop, vitamin E cream, little dabble do you. I like it. So yeah, I don't want to look like an old man. I hate it when you go into a store or something and somebody says, oh yeah, next, the older gentleman. The old gentleman. If they're kind, that's what they say. The old man in there. You want me to hit you with my cane? And that's ageism too. Now, sometimes it can work in your advantage if they hold the door open for you, or if they give you a seat on the bus. We never take the bus, or a seat on the subway. We never take the subway because we don't have one here. But you know, that kind of a thing. Or sometimes they'll pull their kids away. They'll go, don't get in the way of that old man. He might eat you. Damn right. Looks tender. Baby back ribs. Yum, yum, yum. But yeah. So what are people saying here? Catch up. Movie. Russ says, I don't know how to act my age. I've never been this age before. What, 14? Just joking, Russ. Yes, I am. Barb says, Judy says, I agree with you, Russ. Pat says, how old would you be if you didn't know your birthday? We already started to talk about that one. Carl says, absolutely not. People think I'm in my 40s and I'm ready to retire this year. I've seen pictures of you, Carl. I'm not part of that club. No, never mind. It's because you dye your hair weird colors. I don't know. Inez feels 18, has been here for many moons. Well, good for you, Inez. Carl says, I color my hair bright colors and change it about every month. Yes, I know. That's what I was referring to. Which, you know, I think that's kind of fun. I did say at one time I should maybe get some blue, just blue streaks up through here, but yeah, I'm chicken. I'm not doing it. Because, okay, here's why. Some people may think that's really cool, but there'll be other people going, look at that old fart trying to be young with putting blue streaks in his hair. So I don't know. But then again, should I care? We could put, no, we can't. Maybe
I could do a Sharpie on there.
we could draw a little happy face on the top of your head. So you could, oh, I know. You could put a little happy face up there and then give them your usual Walter look and then say, that might be fun. Let's do that. Sue says, old age is catching if you are fortunate enough to still be living. Lost my first husband to a drunk driver at 28 years old. He didn't get to watch his 11-month-old and his 3.5-year-old grow. Yep, that's very sad, Sue, but you want to know something? That's the negative part about aging. And I'm not criticizing you or anything like that, but this is what happens. We dwell on the negative part about aging. Yes, that's a tragedy. That's very sad. So sorry that happened to you. But to use an old cliche or an old saying, life goes on. And we cannot dwell on the horrors that have happened to us in our past. That's what my mother did. It drove her to an early grave. Also, you're not a lot of fun at a party when that comes up because people don't know what to say to you. You know, really. Because I'm sure people would like to, if they could help you out with that, they would. But we can't. We can't bring back the people who have passed on. You know, that's a thing. So it's best for us to, we mourn them. We will not forget them. We will have moments of sadness. I still cry over the kitty, losing Kitty, and that was 10 years ago. You know, I miss the kitty every day with it. And I miss my parents too. And I miss my grandparents and other people that have been in my life that have gone on as well. But I can't dwell on it because it'll just put me into depression. And then that's no good. That's no good. Pat says, I will be 78 this year. Sometimes I feel like I'm in my 50s and sometimes I feel like in my 90s. Well, again, I think that has some...
How do you know how it feels like to be in your 90s?
Yeah, how do you know that? Going back to Russ's comment, on that. But I mean, the point is that we have good days and bad days, depending on our level of health, right? And there's not a heck of a lot we can do about that. But according to social media, we can reverse the aging process if we use this cream or we do this set of exercises or if we eat these types of foods and all that kind of stuff, or if we dress this way or we do this in our life and the whole bit. And obviously, a lot of people believe in those things because it's a multi-million-dollar industry. All the creams and things out there that are going to revitalize your skin and make you look 10 years younger. Yeah, if it was only that easy. Gloria says, I'm going to be 73 in March, and I've had many people say they thought I was in my 50s. Yep. But you want to know something? Is that because I know people like that too, that you don't know them well enough to know exactly how old they are, but you guess and you usually, if there's somebody that's very vibrant and the whole bit, you think that they're a lot younger until when you hear what their age is and you look at them and go, and I say, good for you. Good for you. It gives me hope that that's the way my life is going to be when I get to that age as well. So yeah, that's a good thing. And I think more of that has to do with the way you project yourself as opposed to the way you physically look with it. And Mary says she's 74 and feels the same. Yeah. And Donna's 78. I don't think about it. I go to the gym 3 times a week. Age is only a number. It doesn't define you. No, actually, that's wrong. I'm going to debate with you. Age does define you, but not in the way you would think, that way people use that. Age defines you because it places you in a certain time span. Like, for example, you tell me you're 78. You're 10 years older than me. So you were born in 1947 or 48. End of the Second World War. The beginning of the baby boomers. The beginning of how our lives are leading up to today. Technology advancements, things like that. You remember the assassination of JFK and how that affected the world. If you're Canadian, you remember Expo 67 when Canada turned 100. You remember when we got our flag in 1965. You remember the Beatles when they came out. You go into the 70s. You remember all the things that happened in the 70s, the 80s, all that kind of stuff. You have got a wealth of experience. So yes, from those experiences, it defined who you are today. So yes, your age is not just a number. It does define you if you look at it from that point of view. If you look at it from a negative point of view, age defines you because it says you're old and decrepit. Well, that's the wrong way to look at that statement, I think. Julie says, you're as old as you want to be. I'm 58, do my best to feel like I'm in my 30s. Well, stop running around naked on the streets, though, okay? And get off the drugs. Sue says, I quilt. It's my passion. A smile and kindness goes a long way at my age. Yeah, and that's the other thing, finding things that you enjoy doing. Now that you probably have the time to do them. You know, we spend a great portion of our life working. And you hear this all the time from younger people. Oh, I can't wait. I wish I was you. I can't wait till I retire. Well, you're wishing your life away, too. Then obviously you hate your job. And what I say is get a new job. Because if you're going to work 35, 40, 45 years of your life and every day's miserable for you, that's killing you from the inside out at that. Colleen says, the ones for women that annoy me most refer to increased inches. Yeah. Well, here's something else too. There's this great thing about as we get older, our metabolism dies, right? I mean, I think when I turned 50, my metabolism went, oh, okay, bye-bye, and left. And so, you look at a chocolate bar and that puts on 5 pounds, literally. But as you get older, you're maybe not as active as you were, and you don't have the metabolism to burn off those extra calories. So what happens? We get a little heavier. And then we are fat shamed by society. Oh, look at that old fat person and all that kind of stuff. Of course, it does affect our health as well. Doctors are always constantly, what's the first thing that comes out of the doctor's mouth when you go in to be checked up? You need to lose weight. You need to watch your diet. They're right. But it's not easy to do that. And then you see people, and Rebecca Robeson, if you see her, she is skinny as a rake. And
kind of too skinny.
Too skinny. In fact, one of her hater comments said she was too skinny. And she is. She is too skinny. Because, on young people, if they lose some weight, they can usually replace it with muscle if they're doing physical exercise for it. As older people, we can't, well, you can, but the effort that it takes to build muscle at a certain age is much greater than it was when you're younger. If you're doing it to basically stay, healthy and lean, that's one thing. I mean, there are old guys who, are body beautiful, but when you see them flexing their muscles and they got their shirts off, it looks kind of sad. It's not really like watching some guy in his mid-30s flexing up there, kind of a thing. He still looks like an old guy, kind of a deal. But, if it's for health reasons, I suppose that's okay. But we can't. So why should we have to, at our age, why do we have to deprive ourselves of things we like? Everything in moderation, you always hear, right? But if you want to have, a few chocolates, or if you want to have an extra cocktail on a holiday or something like that, then go for it. Like, as long as you're not eating a dozen of them every day, what the heck? Once in a while, have some fun. Actually, where was it? I just moved that comment.
They're at the top now.
Oh yeah, Patsy didn't watch the Rebecca thing. It sounded depressing. Actually, it was just mean comments, really, more than anything. Actually, it was kind of amusing in some ways, but not in a like I kind of felt for her because I think as a content creator, we've all been on that end of the mean comments. Patsy, Quilting Chocolate says I need to use under eye balm cream, but no, the best ones. I'm not sure what that means. I think your fingers got away from you.
She does not know the best one.
Oh, okay. And pH under the eyes.
I hate to say this, but you look like an asshole.
Well, what's pH?
pH.
Oh, preparation H. Oh, I missed Patsy's comment before. Use preparation under your eyes. I've never used it, but I have heard that. I have heard of that, but I don't know.
I don't know about that.
No. Glory says men should use moisturizer because even though they are men, they still have skin. Yes, I'm a great proponent of moisturizer. And there's lots of ones out there that are geared towards men. But
I don't like putting stuff on my skin.
But it doesn't make your skin oily if you use a good shit.
I don't even like using hand cream. So
you really should try it. Mary says she has to buy spackling compound to fill in her wrinkles. I think that's what Rebecca Rosen uses too. I just looked her up. I like her makeup and her choices seem to be age appropriate. She doesn't look 60 plus. Folks just keep on it. Yeah, she looks pretty good, but you should look in her back catalog of videos. She did one where she shows her makeup routine. Oh my God. It takes her 2 hours to put on her makeup. And she has it's
like doing theatrical.
Yeah, it's like doing theatrical makeup with it. It is quite an eye opener, really. I don't think most ladies probably go through that, but she does. She's dedicated to it. Charlotte says I'll be 78 a month from tomorrow, and I think quilting is keeping me feeling young. Actually, Charlotte, I agree with you. And I agree with you because I think quilting is such a creative process and it uses your brain. And I think that's another factor that makes us feel old is if you don't use your brain, if you don't keep it going, it will shut down. And again, I use my mother as an example. She didn't have any hobbies. She didn't do anything. She stopped. She used to be a reader. One of the reasons I like to read was because of my mother. She introduced me to books at a very early age. And she stopped reading. All she did was sit on the couch and stare at the TV, and she wouldn't even change the channel, so it didn't matter what came on. That was her life. And I tried to do other things for her. I tried to get her involved in things. She wouldn't do it. And so her brain just stopped out of all of that. It's the quilt math hard, but it keeps your brain going. Teresa's, my brain says I'm 30, my body disagrees. Well, get your body to catch up. KW says, work doesn't know I'm 63. They think I'm in my late 40s, therefore they can't understand why I know so much. It's always good to keep them guessing about that kind of thing. But anyways, I just thought that made me think when I saw the Rebecca Robeson thing the other day and the comments about the way she looked, the way she dressed, and everything like that, that made me really start thinking about this a little bit more. So, anyways, I think we all need to not dwell on death. You know, go out with a bang, not a whimper. Make every day count. Extend ourselves, challenge ourselves to do new things. Quilting definitely helps with that. All kinds of avenues there, but any kind of creative task. Don't just lay on a couch and watch YouTube.
Judy just said her neighbor retired a year and a half ago and can't get her off the couch.
And she'll be dead in another year and a half.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's the one thing that they always tell you, like, if you retire, don't sit around and watch TV all day long.
Yeah, that is exactly what happens. My dad, he did have dementia. But I think what contributed to his dementia was the fact that once he retired, he had no hobbies or interests. He lived for his job. That's what he loved to do. And he basically spent his days playing a game on the computer.
Or looked up the obituaries all the time.
Or looked up the obituaries of everybody. And he was shredding things a lot. And that was his life. That was it. And that, I'm sure, put him in an early grave, too. So, anyways, let's not get into early graves, people. We have many miles to go yet and many things to do, no matter what age you are at. Learn a new thing. Challenge yourself. I truly believe you learn something new every day. It may be something very small or minor, but it's something new. It makes your brain work. Keep it going. The day when you stop learning something new is the day when you're dead. Well, there's something that's nice too. Did you learn anything new today?
No.
I learned that you need to use moisturizer. So that was something new. Yeah. You must have learned something new. Probably involves something I shouldn't do. Whatever. But anyways, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you next week for live, but also check out the other videos during the week. Okay, have a good one, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.